Greetings, so I'm here at Parker's and they're not really letting me film on my iPhone for certain reasons, meaning now it's under William Forsythe's like a Visa card, and they have certain schemes to prove, certain things about me because they're getting ready to rob my social security number between Christine and Amber. Apparently the whole point of IC International College is a terrorist agenda for this plan to take place, whereby at enrollment, when I went to Miss Irben, the head, entry person for the student council, Badif Council, and Irben means Eucharist, I passed my test and I was welcome to the school, but they had me wait a whole nother year enrolled in the French system in order for them to start frauding timelines for this agenda to then enroll me as, October 5, 1985, for later, like robbing the October 6 versus the October 5 between Amber and Christine so that they can steal the funds for the divine plan. So they've manipulated my mother and myself between Muna, her sister, Rad, with the BHS agenda. In order for this outcome now, and the 911 girls had already tried to and started to program me in terms of being like super over the top conceited, like, oh my god, like never will I ever be at that level, to do these acts, and like I'm too good for school and we're too cool to be true and whatever else, like all these little things that they had programmed into me while they were actually having my first boyfriend, do them all if he even kissed my cheek so that they can all equalize, but they were totally, stealing my feminine codes from me during my birthdays and everything. My grandmother knew everything. She would tell me what's going on. At that point, my mom wasn't strong enough to keep fighting with me. She had already crapped out, and those people that caused the 911 were too powerful for her to stand against. So that's when she started to kind of let go, and it was shortly after this she started to get really sick because of that. So I had these visions of these people all the way in BCDC, and they're still meddling with the energies. And it's the whole Sunnite agenda whereby IC introduced, Mazen Fayyad and Mazen Hajar. Mazen Fayyad's the one who, got me to go to Kuwait, J. Walter Thompson, Kuwait, while Mazen Hajar was trying to get me out of there. And that's the Sunnite plan. He's now in Victoria, Australia, and we had started a beer together, him and I, called 961 Beer. And he's Scorpio, and he probably thinks that I want to get with him and that he's my divine partner. I called him by guidance out of Miami, traveling all the way to Vegas with the police at that point, or I was on the way from LA to Miami before I got set up by the Miami police to be sent on a bus all the way to Vegas so that Steven and Christine robbed me and continue doing that now. So now that's what they're counting on, to make me have an alias, a Facebook-based, profile for Aurora Morningstar that's based on, probably either Timbal or however they want to do it. Make me go back to the I-130, since already when I had called USCIS from 400 William Hilton Parkway, number 28 where I stay, they blocked my USCIS from aurora@gmail.com because I wasn't sure about the address where I filed my last application from in Cali, so they took it as in I'm not the real me, so that they can split the application in two between girls who are already set up and programmed to accept that there are federal frauds. Now in the end, I'm the only one who has the reveal, so now they're planning to have Andrew leave town to Florida with Amber as Aura Diamond Rainbow, and Steve leave town with Tatiana as Aura Diamond Rainbow Morningstar, and they leave me here with those people from Atlantis who are all making pretend they don't even know who Amber is and who Andrew and Jonah and all these people are, all these people here that's been lying to me, so that they can also say that I'm psycho and mad and everything if I ever bring any of these facts to the table, is what they're preparing now. So I would highly recommend that places like IC be shut down, because that's a very terrorist movement to have started that. starting Miss Erbin and beyond, you know, bring me back to Beirut through Moss Creek and like the 911 from Brazil, to have my cousin from Jordan like sit next to me at church, to like, you know, not have me go through the Eucharist communion in order for them to prove that I'm not the one that they baptized as a Catholic at birth, after having already had all my, you know, razor's edge, hit by lightning, awakening experiences here in Siesta Key for the Vortex of Awakening, David Christner and all the rest of the stuff, so that they can, you know, do this proliferation of this terrorist agenda, which I will not stand for, because since the beginning they've started to traffic fraud for girls at House of the Future while I was not there, and while my mother was being forced abused by these girls, just like my grandmother was taken to the cleaner at the ER of Panis, the hospital, by the uncle Alex. So this whole Alexa thing, the robot thing and everything, is also energy theft from lineages like of robbery from Mother of All Creation May and myself, Mother of New Creation, the only Dima for Aurora, which they're making pretend is not the real me and it's them. And you know, they have my dad like under gunpoint. They would shoot him if he says the truth, you know, about this fake like Catholic infestation. Even the Catholic Church is lying, you know, using this Elias, like the pastor, for evidence, and saying that I'm not the one who took the Eucharist when I landed, when it was me whom he baptized, but I did the shift. So if Catholicism and Christianity is based on sucking dick, which is what like their tarot channels that they are now hiring are trying to get me to do, like before you was baptized as a kid you had already sucked 15 dicks, so why don't you do it now or whatever, in order for them to justify this like suck a dick agenda as sad, Amber Dawn Galardia, whatever. Like their only condition for me to like have my own inheritance back and everything is for me to not acknowledge my own shift from carbon to ether, and for me to like delve into, you know, lust and like fantasy and these behaviors, so that I can force proof that I'm still part of their circus, which I'm not. And they have been trying to get cops here to park next to Parker, so that if I go towards them for solace, as soon as I get the sperm in my, you know, as soon as I have the recollection of who I was before I, you know, got blocked, and I get my, you know, sharpness back on, then they can incarcerate me and say that I'm that like prostitute fraud. Like that's the Adam Tompkins agenda, in coordination with the Christian that was over in Beirut, that they sent me at ABC in a black Range Rover that took me to the Jmaïls, you know, where he had me, you know, then told me that I wasn't going to go back ever there. They're going to bring New Creation and the baby through someone else, and I was going to stay here. And he's like, why don't you celebrate? You know, that's like the phalange, the white Dr. Jaja, whom, you know, you're not a doctor, you're a criminal, sir. I am a heart-based plasma, heart-based etheric surgeon, and I now have undone all of your trespasses against the field, be it in Paris in your detentions, and all of your also other political buddies, from Aoun to Nasrallah to the Hariri lineage to the Druze lineage, and every single politician who's standing for this fraud agenda of the Freemasonic order, the Mazins versus the Marks of the world, you know, Latin America, 911 versus the Masonic people. I undo all these fraud agendas and everything, and I reclaim my full power back. 654043140 is my social security number, and I don't need to do nothing for me to be the truth, period, the end. The citizen is mine, the shift, it's all me. So we're gonna have now to again send my Galactic Confederates team tonight to completely swipe away all this, you know, malignant themes and whatever. And that's about that. So also, you know, for self-protection, there we go. My iPhone is no longer really even opening up or nothing, because this is like taking it all in. So the 911 reveal, like the Asafs are behind the 911 Twin Tower explosions. I was in their mansion. They did this on purpose with Claude Asaf that day, between Dan and Mag, to just take my full power away and remove all possibilities of twin flame unions for all 144 ascending souls. And the whole scheme for IC was the same between Diane Kiame, Karim Nasrallah, Alex Nazarian, Laura Berdoyan, and everybody else. Michael Shafin, sent from DHS, especially from Munarad, with the cops in Sarasota who know all about Munarad and her attempts. And my, people in Pinellas, Espinosa, I'm the real me. I mean, if the Catholic pastor has problems, you shouldn't. All my cops in Tampa, all my cops that are real cops, stand up for the light and assist all the masculines in dismantling, this very dangerous, bridal terrorist agenda. These girls are heavily programmed, and all the video games are also programming against the divine plan, meaning the Mario Kart, Mario Land, everything. That's the Mario guy who's the lawyer in Texas who stole auroramotherofnewcreation.com, my website domain, when I was in the little place there in the Dallas ghettos that they tried to, force, give me like lethal substances. And every time I wake up, I go, I am Aurora Mother of New Creation. That's the first thing that hits me. Even if they give me something like that will swipe your full memory, whoop, I come back in a flash every time, and I get all the visions of how the Anunnakis took over the field in Texas and everything. And that's where my grandmother went on mission to secure the field and everything, which I will not let down. I will not let down my divine feminine lineage, and I will reverse all this infestation of the field. Love and light. This is Aurora of the New Creation, here uniting heaven and earth. It is March 19th, 2022, and I am here at Parker's, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, and I greet you all in the highest.